Because they're our unofficial sponsors.
Oh.
So
Yeah, it doesn't.
I'll be like, Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
That's okay. Probably is the official sponsor of all the candles on my set.
See, I know we do.
These are all Amazon. I got a 9-pack for like $30.
Nice.
So I got those, and I got the ones that are up there.
Oh, nice.
Eventually.
Yeah, I use real candles, though, 'cause you can't really light fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, these are LEDs.
Ours have to be LEDs because we'll set things on fire.
Keith is like a bull in a china shop.
Pretty much, yeah. It's best if I'm not around live flames
Yeah.
and combustible materials.
It's kind of interesting. Yeah, so here we are.
We are here
Episode 6.
already.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow, I know.
So,
I feel crazed.
obviously, by the title, you can see the fabulous Sarah Boney.
So, my question is, who gave her the title of Fabulous? I mean,
did.
was there a vote?
No, you did.
Well, I know I did.
That's all that counts.
I
mean, there's 2 of us, man. I mean, like.
That's true.
Yeah,
You did second it, so I
is
guess
it's
we're
going to be a
okay.
1-to-1? No, I don't like fabulous. It should be marvelous.
Well, it could have been fabulous and marvelous too.
Farbulous?
Ooh, Farvelous.
Farvelous.
I deserve a whole nother one.
Yeah,
I really
farvelous.
Farvelous. Okay.
Okay.
We're,
all right.
we're going with that.
Well, hello, friends.
Hello, friends.
I'm Rob.
I'm Keith.
And we are the Renaissance Rascals.
We are.
And today we are joined by our lovely friend, the farvelous Sarah Boney.
Sarah Bonnie. Yay.
You may have seen her in the mean streets of Larkspurshire.
Right.
Trolling around with this other lanky guy. Likes to eat metal.
Yeah. He's
What's his name? Nathaniel?
yeah. Sid.
Steven?
He's so not important to the act.
Oh.
Oh, hush, you guys.
As much
We'll have him on the show and we'll be like, I don't even know why you need her.
why is she there?
Why
I
is she
feel like
on
that
there?
pendulum does swing the other way.
In all seriousness, one of the performers with the Blades and Bravery show.
Yes.
Alongside with Sideshow Psy. God, I can't say that.
No.
Sideshow Psy. There we go.
There you go.
He's actually a Guinness Book of World Record holder, and hopefully we'll get him on the show closer to season. That way he can tout himself up and we can talk with him a little bit and get his take on performing. But Sarah here is one of the amazing performers. Actually got me yelled at my first year on cast.
She did. Yeah, it's all her fault.
It is. It is 100%. But please introduce yourself.
Oh, well, I'm Sarah Bonnie. I'm the stunt and sideshow performer on top of many other things. And met you guys at Larkspurshire, Colorado Renaissance Fair, and I'm here talking to you guys on this podcast.
Which is, it's kind of funny because you came in and you said you've never done a podcast before, but you have a pretty big social media following.
It's all right. It's okay.
Dude, you're larger than us. I mean, when you're talking, you're over. I don't know. I think I clocked you at like you're just under 3, right? Under 3,000, or is it more?
I don't like to brag.
Please, that's why
Please
we're
do.
here.
Okay, with my social medias combined, including Instagram, TikTok, Patreon, YouTube, I am just on the cusp of 100,000.
Dude, that's awesome. That's amazing. That's
3,000, huh? Yeah, way to undershoot the landing.
Well, one of them is 3,000. I mean,
Yeah.
I said under or over. It's
Wow.
like, whatever, dude. We're not there. That's all I'm saying.
No, we're not at
We're
100,000.
nowhere near that.
You'll get there.
Right.
And it is a labor of love.
It really is.
You gotta put.
Dedicated sport.
You are completely. I watch your stuff show up, and I'm like, hey, Sarah's got something I know. That's so cool. I wish there was that.
We live vicariously through you.
Yes.
Oh,
So we're like, we know her, so we feel like we had something to do with it.
We're by association.
Like, you talked to us and you went, You talked to us and you went, if I were those guys, I would do this, and you did it. And so we feel like in some sort of way, we take credit.
She blazed the trail for us.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking the 15 course.
Yeah. I mean,
You're welcome.
I'm glad we can contribute to your success
Yeah.
in any small way that we have.
But speaking of success, I mean, you're talking about you were letting us know You are a busy lady.
Yes, I do everything all the time.
Yeah.
Everything all at once.
Plus, she's a mom, guys.
Yes,
like,
mom of 4.
it's so ridiculous. They're cute. They're awesome.
They are adorable.
They're really great.
I did do one thing.
They're upstairs with a tiny human playing on the Switch right now. So if you guys hear any bumps or scrapes or screaming, that's what's going on.
Yeah, just ignore them.
It's kids.
We will.
We
they'll be fine.
As long as there's no blood curdling screams, we're fine.
And even then, if there's no real blood, they're fine.
That's
It's
right.
okay.
You'll rub some dirt in it, you'll be all right.
Yeah, walk it off.
So what else do you got going on?
So besides getting ready for next year, obviously, and
Yeah.
planning out those contracts and that sort of thing, and I'm kind of in duality with Cyrus on that, on can we do this, can we schedule that, contracts for this fair, contracts for that fair. I also have my social media that I do. I'm posting on Instagram and TikTok. I do specifically Tavern Greener.
It's kind of like what we're going for here,
Yeah,
which is
Tavern
neat.
Court.
It's
really
a good
good.
thing, man.
Yeah.
Like the only thing I'm missing is we got the ambiance music in the background.
Right, right.
Bar winches. That's what I need.
Oh,
We need bar winches,
That's
yeah.
helpful. Yeah.
Yeah.
As one, I suggest definitely should do.
Because that's kind of the character you play in
so
here.
I specifically, my social medias are not necessarily like aspects of my life per se.
Right.
They are a character, and her name is Talise, and she is a fire sorceress. I grew up playing D&D. I could count on dice before I could count on my fingers. That's okay.
Nerd.
You know what? We keep our opinions to ourselves.
I'm a nerd too. But I'm beating him to the punch because he's gonna do it.
I would never.
Lies.
Totally. Nerd. I'm a budding nerd.
Oh, that's okay.
We just got him involved in Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Oh.
So.
Wow, so you went newbie.
Yeah.
Deep end.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
He's done a little bit of role playing.
Yeah.
Like in the 70s when Gary Gygax was first starting off.
Okay, it was the 80s, but yeah, still long time ago.
You know, Stranger Things might be based off of his childhood.
There was D&D Basic and D&D Advanced.
Yeah. Back when it was.
And that was it. That's all you had.
Yeah.
That was it.
And now it's like there's all these different versions, and he's kind of lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
That happens.
Yeah, and I've done role playing games since '86. I do freelance marketing for a publishing company that does their own role playing game, tabletop. So yeah, I say nerd, but I say it affectionately. He says it hatefully, and then I look at him and go, "What's the M on your hat for? It sure isn't Mickey Mouse."
Whatever, dude.
Yeah. Give me some sports stats, nerd. What's up?
So moving on.
He feels attacked all of a sudden.
I do. I feel a little bit. I feel.
A little defensive.
I have a little trauma going on.
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
all right. It's all right. You shouldn't have been mean to us when we were in high school. You should have
Well, whatever. We won't
been
talk
more
about
accepting instead of being a typical jock. Yeah,
It does.
Every
Every
single time.
Every time I hang out with him.
Every time he's like, "Hey, I need something like tech-wise," and I'm like, "What happened to throwing the football?"
Yeah, 25 years ago.
Yeah, right. What?
He reminds me of that so often.
I bet you could throw that football real far. It's really gonna fix that tech problem, isn't it, buddy?
Also, try turning it off and on again.
Right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I got that one.
This is actually Keith on, off. It ain't working. Shake.
Rob, I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
That's it. I've got his laptop sitting over on my
He's
desk.
got a laptop of mine sitting over there. So I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with it, dude.
It's so bad, dude.
He's like, what is it doing? I'm like, I don't know. It doesn't work. That's for you to figure out, computer guy.
See
just
what I deal with?
So in this whole thing, I'm just the talent.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
that's
get it.
what
I get it.
that's my thing.
Literally, he comes in, everything's set up. Cameras are
We sit
going,
down.
right?
He hits record because I don't know what to do over there.
And you just come up with all the gold, all the just.
Yes.
I wouldn't say that.
No, she did say that.
I wouldn't say
And
that it's
she's
all
absolutely
the gold.
Proof me
right.
wrong.
I've got reels.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I have to let him shine every so often.
and I do know how to edit, so
Yeah.
it's really, really
Be
bad.
on the side of the editor.
Yeah.
Right.
Look bad real fast.
Have you looked at him?
It doesn't take much.
It's not
It
much.
doesn't take much.
Like just a little bit of bump on the grain there. Let's contrast a little. Yeah, no, we're.
You can't mess with the moneymaker.
She did it, not me.
So
anyway,
as we were saying,
new projects. What's like the real big things?
So new projects are going to be we just recently launched Patreon. That's a new big huge thing.
I saw your launch on that. You guys can check her out. Go to Patreon. We'll throw the link up somewhere around here. We'll also make sure that we share that on the Renaissance Rascals webpage in the marketplace, because, dude,
in the marketplace,
a lot of your social media content is about self-healing.
Yeah.
A lot of words of encouragement and self-healing and stuff like that. Yeah. I dig that message, but Keith and I are not the guys to deliver that message.
I get it. Not everyone can do it.
No.
Yeah. No.
Well, when I developed the character, when I was thinking about her, I have all this ability that I learned to be able to play with fire as a fire eater, and not being afraid of fire. I learned that I could just light my hands on fire.
It's weird that she's also a redhead.
Yes. One would say
shockingly enough.
Fainted.
Right.
But when you've been around fantasy, been around role play,
sure.
Sorcerers kind of fall into that kind of dark, moody, broody, teenage, angsty thing.
So you are living emo 100%.
No, not I took her down a route of, instead of being, a bonfire or a firecracker, she's a Yankee candle. She's a heart.
I like that.
She's a warm ambient glow in people's lives.
Yeah.
And that's where I've taken her direction, and that's where I've added that in. So I have little bouts of fire magic, but my goal is to be a place where people feel safe on the internet, where they feel like they're actually stopping into a tavern, they're sitting down, they're like, oh, someone's listening to me, someone's looking at me, someone's being a friend, when we live in a society that's so disconnected.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
100%. It's very confrontational. It's
very. My whole thing is no confrontation.
Yeah.
Like, I
get
don't even
that.
fight in my comments.
I get that a lot when I watch your stuff. It's there's a few people that I follow that they have that self-healing thing, words of encouragement type of stuff going on, and I find it very, very interesting, because again, I can't deliver that. Our energy levels up here, and to have that kind of reassuring, you gotta bring that down. And have you tried to calm this dude down?
It doesn't generally work. I mean, I'm good for like a hug. That's what I got.
Pretty much. That's
Fair.
about it. And you can't deliver hugs on the internet. It looks really weird on camera.
It does.
I don't know. I've done pretty well at it.
Have you?
Yeah.
I'll have to take a closer look.
I'll show you. I'll show you
I'll have to
some
take a
reels.
closer look, because
Yes.
we tried it and it looked really weird. Keith was on the table.
Yeah.
That's a whole
Yeah,
different
yeah.
animal.
That's
a different
that's more OF
show.
than
I'm
anything
fighting
else,
2 restraining orders
yeah.
right now. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
Off the
It's-
internet was
it's
really weird
gross.
too. I was like,
Oh, I bet. Yeah, once
Yeah.
the cameras go off, that's
Yeah.
when the real party
Yeah,
starts.
yeah. But I mean, how did you get involved in how did you get started in playing with that's weird, man. How did you start playing with fire?
Yeah.
Well,
Look, it was 5 on fire. I was like, cool, fire.
A pair of matches, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, actually, so I started working with Cyrus and doing the knife throwing and
Right.
that sort of thing. And so out of that, and all of his contracts, because he's been swallowing swords for the last 10 years.
right.
All of his contracts always have a proclivity that he has to swallow swords in the show.
Okay.
We usually have that as an opener to the show. And so we were like, we need to find some way to balance it out.
Right.
Because it was definitely pulling we're not a duo show, it's a him and I'm an assistant.
Right.
And we didn't want it to have that vibe.
Right.
So he's like, I swallow swords, we need to find something that you can do that's your own highlight in the show, so everybody knows we're on the same level. That you're just as dangerous.
Right. Right.
Because we ran into the issue where year one and those first couple shows, people would not talk to me. People would not come up and put money in my hat. People would not tip if they couldn't hear me or if they thought I was just standing there.
Right.
Because they were like, I can't condone this level of danger because we're worried about her. I'm not going to pay money to have this happen.
Yeah.
So definitely had to have a mic, definitely had to be equal voice in the show, and then having a stunt that I do that's different than the knife throwing. Said, oh, okay, so she's just as dangerous, so we can all be along and we can all play.
Right.
And so I was on a hunt, I was on a search for what could that be. I started with bottle walking, which is walking on champagne bottles on the the top of them. And then I was like, that was fun, but it's hard to do on a stage.
Yeah.
Thought about doing a machete ladder, which is a ladder of machetes on their blades, and you walk up them. But I didn't want to take my shoes on and off during a show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and walking around up there without shoes on is not a good idea.
That's death. That's a Renaissance death.
Yeah, for sure.
That's how you get tetanus.
Yeah, that's how you get the plague.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what I really want to do? I want to try eating fire. And Cyrus is like, well, I know somebody who can show you.
Nice.
And she basically was like, okay, well, you do this. And I did it. She goes, you know what I mean? You know, the biggest thing is the fear, and I had no fear of it. So she goes, just do whatever feels good. And so then I just learned that I had really high pain tolerance, and I could just light my arm on fire, or light my mouth on fire, or light my tongue on fire, and that was it. I just was natural to it.
But you guys also threw something in last year, if I remember correctly, a little bit of blade dancing and some fight scenes there.
Yes, so
I caught the tail end of that, and I was like, dude, that's cool.
Yeah, so we were trying to come up with a way to start off doing the show one step. He does one, I do one. He does one, I do one. And they each progressively get more and more and more. Well, the thing is, when you're telling an audience that that's what's going to happen, if you ask the audience, they're always going to say, girl throws the knife first.
Oh, yeah.
Girl throws the knife first.
Yeah.
They're always going to say that. So we wanted to feel like it was, we knew that and we planned for that, but we wanted it to feel like it was possibly a gamble every time. So we have actually a couple different openers to that. So we have one where we put a card on the board, and whoever can get closest without pinning it goes first. We have the sword fight. Whoever wins the sword fight, they get to go first. Just to have elements where, for us, it's a little bit different, because it does get monotonous 4 times a day. Everyone's the same. We want to have a little bit different.
Yeah.
And we want people to come back, because they might have heard down the road, oh, did you see this part? And you go, that didn't happen in the show I saw. I'm going to go back and see if they do it the next one.
Yeah.
It keeps people coming back.
Yep.
And especially at Larkspur, back up that hill.
Sucks.
Yeah.
So we want them, and we often get times where we're going with the joust as well, or competing against someone who's bigger, like the Washing Well Wenches. We need to be able to kind of balance being able to pull people to certain areas.
That's interesting. I you know, as a patron, I never thought about some of the things like the actors and performers,
right?
What they go through and how they go about their day. And even as a performer, because I don't pay attention to a lot of the inner workings of what happens for stage shows.
Yeah.
Because
it's a whole different sphere.
Yeah, I'm not there. You know, it's spheres of influence, if you will. Yeah. Is I don't have vested interest to learn what's going on there. So it's neat to see to hear about the planning and the execution in the background.
Yeah, it's a lot different than necessarily like being on cast or being a street performer. There are elements where we all have to kind of get along, and we all have to not pull from each other. Mics can't be too loud over here that you're messing someone else's show, and there's a lot of, we want to be friends and not rivals.
Yeah.
It's very community driven.
Yes. Yeah.
And the thing about where that stage is too is like you're sandwiched in between a whole bunch of other, like the vendor booths.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of be cognizant of that as well, because where your crowd gathers is like it expands out from the stage in the seating area into the lane,
it goes
into
all the way up to the car and all the way out to the sides.
Yeah, it's crazy. So the people trying to get through are like, we're just trying to walk up the hill.
Yeah.
You know, we got these yahoos.
The torture museum.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah. Or get seats for the Washing Well Wenches, which is usually what it is.
Yeah. Right.
Let's be fair.
That's a rough. I mean,
that's
Keith
rough
and I
walk.
have a hard time getting
That's a rough walk.
I was like, dude, we just got to zigzag it. No, that makes it worse.
Yeah, we tried. Yeah, I was like, no.
Yeah, it makes it worse.
Somehow time dilation just occurs
in
that space.
Yeah, I'm like, this is taking us way longer. This is horrible. I mean, it was
like,
bad.
Oh, stick to the shops on the north side, and the hill's not as bad. I'm like, you're using these descriptors, and when you say not as, we all recognize it's bad.
It's still bad.
It's still bad.
Like,
10 feet of snow, 11 feet of snow.
Yeah, it's still snow.
Still a lot of snow.
Yeah, still snow.
I'm looking for a good way to get up there.
Right.
There's just not one. So
aside from like a ski lift.
That would be cool.
Ooh,
Jimmy.
yeah.
A
Jimmy.
Renaissance ski lift.
I
Yeah.
don't think it's
What
period
is that?
appropriate, but
It
that would be
could
cool.
It could be.
I got it. We disguise it as mine cars.
He's got a guy just like doing the cranking the handle.
Yeah. Or a bunch
Whoever
of
that guy is,
or
I
if
want
you
to see him without a shirt.
Oh, yes.
if you really want to be period like appropriate, it's a bunch of kids.
Oh, that's true.
Oh,
Yeah.
Child
yeah.
labor. I
Yeah,
like
child
it.
labor, you know.
that'd keep them busy.
Yeah, and then you can
Out of
charge the
trouble, too.
parents.
In lieu of
You can
daycare.
charge the parents
Yeah.
for their
gift.
turn. Yeah.
Drop your kids off.
Drop
at
your
the,
kids off at
the
the-
ski lift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the mine cars.
Yeah.
You know? There you go. There you go.
There we go. Yeah.
I think we're breaking like federal laws, but
Yeah. But no,
pretty-
we're not.
I'm pretty
because
sure.
Renaissance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
There are no labor laws yet.
federal. What are you talking about? We're in England.
We got this.
Yeah, that would. I agree with you though. Like the dude that would be pulling that crank is gonna be.
He's gonna be a
ripped.
monster.
God.
Ripped.
Yes.
Oh my
He could
god.
be an attraction all of himself. Like
Right.
there's the mermaid, and then there's the
Yeah.
guy.
There's
the-
the
the
guy.
guy.
That's all they call
Everyone's like,
him.
you gotta go up past the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Wait,
now
what do
a
you mean? Like
landmark.
oh, the guy.
Don't- trust me, you'll
On
know.
the way to the washing well wenches, well, they'll tell you all about the guy.
The guy.
See the guy.
As a matter of
The guy
fact, the
coming up
guy
with-
will be out there periodically with the
Oh, I
winches.
guarantee it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Knowing them. Yes.
for sure.
Right. That is so ridiculous. What a weird idea.
Thanks
So-
for that one.
So taking it even like back a step. So I ask everyone this because it's very interesting to me. So how long have you been like in the fair circuit, and what was it that made you want to do Ren fairs?
Well, okay, so, all right.
I know it's here you go.
So I've only been performing Ren fairs for 2 years.
Really?
2025 will be my 3rd year performing Ren fairs.
That's funny.
I know.
No, my first year was your first year. That's funny. That is so hilarious, dude. So
Newbies.
not only was it my first year and you got me yelled at,
Yeah.
it was your first year too.
Yeah, and I didn't get yelled at.
No, I got
No, you
yelled
were
at
fine.
by I got yelled at by
It was
some
all
random
us.
noble. Like,
Yeah.
you need to not hang out, and I'm like, but she's cool. Like, yeah, I mean, dude,
you know.
Not wrong.
No, not at all.
She's cool. She's a stage performer. Yeah, but you have a job to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Learn about the people that work here.
Yeah, it's
That's
part of my
kinda What our
job.
job is. Anyway.
Anywho, that's a whole nother fair nuance. Anyway, so I had just gotten so if we rewind further than that, I had just gotten previously divorced. I had left with my 4 kids. I had moved back in with my parents, and I was like, I need to do something for me.
Yeah.
And after being married for basically 11 years, I had to go back like to high school to be like previous me. And it was like, I loved sewing, I loved making dresses and costumes. I was like, you know what, Ren Fair, I'm gonna go to Ren Fair. So I made a dress. And I was like, this is my birthday. This is my 31st birthday. I'm gonna do this. And I went, and Cyrus walked past me after doing one of his shows, and he just stops and goes, is that your real hair? Is that your real hair? And I was like, yeah.
We now have our saying every time we walk by him.
Yeah.
Is that your real hair?
Is that your hair?
That's gonna be my thing. I'm gonna remember that.
We're totally gonna
I'm
do
gonna
it.
lock in on that the
You should.
first time
You
I
should,
see
because
him.
it happens
Is
to
that your
me
hair?
every single show, multiple times.
Well, see, I didn't ask you that because I could recognize that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like one of my best friends, she's a natural redhead.
BTW, it is my rear hair. Yes. This is,
That-
You're
which
not
is,
getting all
which
mine.
is so
it's not a
funny.
wig. But Cyrus thought it was a wig. And I was like, no, it's my real hair. And we just got to talking. And so we saw each other on Instagram. We started messaging. And he was like, oh, you know, I want to do this kind of stuff. Basically get away from sword swallowing because that's not long term a great thing to do to your body.
Yeah.
What?
And he's been injured multiple times.
That I
to
could see.
Where he's like, I don't want to be doing this in my 40s.
Right.
So he's like, I want to do knife throwing. And I was like, well, I know how to throw knives. That's really cool. He goes, you know how to throw knives? And I was like, yes. He goes, this is the vision. And he gives me this vision of most knife throwing shows are guy throws the knives, beautiful girl stands against the board. He goes, I want it to be more, both of them are doing the knife throwing. I want that kind of like dynamic, which I think we have a really cool
You guys are awesome.
friendship,
Yeah.
chemistry. Like it's a competition, but it's not like a competition. And so we started building on that. Basically, ever since I was little, I've always been a performer.
Wow.
Yes.
Diva check aisle 3. Diva check aisle 3.
You can check it all day long, baby. And so my dad is an engineer and very analytical, but he always loved the idea of circus and that sort of thing. So since I was 7, he's like, Cirque du Soleil. So I did martial arts, I did weapons, I did horseback riding, I did gymnastics, I did anything I wanted to do. My dad was like, dude, go do.
Yeah.
And so after I got divorced and I moved back in and I was talking to Cyrus, my dad was like, I will retire so you can do this. Because in his mind, he's like, this is circus. Oh, this is what we've been training for. So that's what we do. So I travel and my dad helps me with the kids on the weekends. That's why I love fair, because it's on the weekends. You know, my parents aren't booked in all week long trying to take care of the
Right.
kids. But it gives me the opportunity where I could tuck kids in on Friday, fly all the way to Pennsylvania, do fair for 2 days, and be back on Monday to pick them up from school. And we've just created this nice little flow.
All right.
There's a lot of moving parts
That's a lot.
behind
That's a lot
that.
going on right there.
So much happening all the time.
That is amazing. Like the amount of
It takes a village.
yeah,
It literally does.
right, take the words right out of my mouth. Yeah, there's you have your little family unit that's just like, all right, cool. You go do that. We're here with the home fires. You go be your crazy fire playing, knife throwing, weird psycho. You go have fun.
Right, and it's so funny because for my kids, it's like so nonchalant. Like there's a knife board in my garage. I practice all the time. I eat fire.
Ooh,
for
wait.
the neighbors.
Do the kids stand up against the board for you?
Oh, they have, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's raising them right.
Cool, mom.
Yeah.
You
Cool
gotta,
mom.
You gotta,
Totally.
you gotta
Cool
make
mom.
sure that they know
Cool mom badge right
to
there.
ride the line
All
of
right,
adrenaline.
so this one, a little bit of a break out of this, but so circus, you're local, yeah.
I'm not going to say where.
Yes.
I'm not
I say where. There's when we're done, when we're done, I'm gonna give you a place. My little one has done stilt walking classes, and they do a clown camp, and they also do clown circus, like
Okay, very cool.
summer camp type
Yeah.
stuff. And actually, she got invited to audition for a circus in May is when the circus performs.
Okay.
But they do their auditions in April.
Do you know what circus it is?
It's a small performing theater in town.
Okay.
So
very cool.
it's a very well known small theater in.
Perfect. But she got the offer to audition.
Yes,
Which
actually,
I
she just
think-
got picked up for Newsies.
Oh.
She's gonna play
perfect.
Albert. It's near and dear to me. The way that you're talking is
Yes.
like, this is the way that even Keith, as weird Uncle Keith is, we're all rooting for her
Well, and
because
you
she's
can
just
see
going.
it.
Yeah.
You can see it in a
Yes.
child who has not even want, because kids don't really have like a want.
No, she
for
has that
something.
spark where it's
There's
like, yeah.
the element in there that you're like, oh, I better, if I don't feed that, it's gonna rebel and do it anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. But I did that. I did in high school. I did mime in high school. That was one of the niche things.
Mine
that
was a
I did.
terrible thing to waste.
It truly
Right.
is. It truly, truly is. No, I agree.
A little bit of men in
beautiful-
tights.
Duh. Why not when you can?
No, right?
It's a beautiful place to start, especially for acting, especially for stage acting,
Yes.
and that sort of thing, because it teaches you to express and emote through all of your fingertips. You are able to exude, which, depending on where you're going, especially for theater, not so much film, but especially for theater, is something that is just will set you a bar above.
Yep. Those grand motion movements,
Because you've got to make
But it
yourself
has to be
big.
believable.
and it also has to be believable and fit the scene.
Yes.
Because you can't just go, "Ooh, how you doing, Keith?"
I mean, you can.
That was Rob his first year.
But you're
It
definitely
really was.
giving something.
It really was. My first year, I mean...
It was not a good look.
No, I was very gun shy. I was very, 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 like, wallflower.
Okay.
Compared to this last year, we took the training wheels off, and it was just, we're out the gates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
well,
it got...
it's different when you have a character developed. You have
Right.
something to breathe into
Yes.
and live into.
Yes.
That adds an element to be able to live that.
Right.
Where when you're developing that, there's a lot of nuance that you have to figure out
The
to get
biggest
there.
problem I had was accent. Because I portray Captain Yan Shang, Chinese pirate. I'm not doing the voice. There is no way I am going to come out there like the Jerry Lewis freaking voices and all the racial stereotypes from like the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Zero way I was going to do that.
Well, and even if you were historically accurate, that's where everyone's
Exactly.
going to go anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then
Rob and I had several conversations.
the other
about
thought,
this.
the other conversation that Keith and I had was
Several.
like, okay, I don't want to do the Filipino voice because I am Filipino. I'm 3/4 Filipino, but I'm not going to do the Joe Coy voice because then all of a sudden I've now taken them out of the Renaissance Festival. We're no longer in Larkspurshire. Now they're like, oh look, it's the guy that's like Joe Coy.
Yeah.
And no, he's got his own thing. I'm this guy.
Right.
So we ended up, I took on the affectations and the stylings of the Cockney accent because it made logical sense.
Yeah.
With the character being a nautical merchant, he would spend most of his time talking with dockside workers and whatnot. So he would pick that up, which is really hilarious when people look at me coming down the lane and they talk to me and then I come out with this Cockney accent and they're like, what?
Wait a minute.
That is okay. That comes from a lot of things. That comes from our visual representation of
Absolutely.
accents.
Yep.
And epigenetically, how an
That's a
accent
big word.
is and
She used a big word.
She
Thank
did.
you. I'm very good at it.
I don't know what that one word means.
I don't know, dude.
Epigenetically.
What am I supposed to do?
Epigenetically.
That means it has something to do with the epidermis.
No.
Right?
Oh.
Elephants.
It's the study of epidermis.
Oh,
Nope.
yes. Epidermiology.
No, that might be closer.
Or maybe.
Epidemiology
I
is
don't know.
the study of viruses.
None of you are anywhere near the idea of close.
Oh, jeez. Well, I didn't think we were.
No, we were
We
not.
should have
even
told
to-
her nothing over 3 syllables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay.
This is what happens when,
We'll
when
deep
Steve just
dive.
hits record.
No,
Freaking
this
Steve.
is good. This is
See, you're going to learn
You're
something
gonna
today,
learn
folks.
about
All right.
accents right
Okay.
now. So, epigenetically, that means your genes change generation to generation.
Okay.
What you do now changes the genes of your children, changes the genes of your grandchildren.
Sorry, I swallowed all of that glue, kids.
Oh no.
I knew there was something.
I see now why she's in theater.
Super glue.
Anyway, how you talk and the language that you originally learned to speak in changes the muscles you use in your mouth.
Yep.
It changes how your teeth sit. It changes how your jaw sits.
Yep.
All of that. It changes your bone structure. That's why you can look at someone and they're talking on mute and you can go, oh my gosh, they're definitely talking in a Russian accent. Because they hold their mouth and they talk and it changes the way their face is shaped. So when you see an actor who has like an English accent trying to do a Southern accent, their face is too proper for you to really believe the accent that's coming out of their mouth. It throws you back. You're like, well, that doesn't look right. It's genetically your brain goes, that doesn't look right.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah, like for me, I look a certain way. So more accents are believable and some accents aren't believable. I can get away with a good Southern accent. I can get away with a Scott-Irish accent. I can get away with a Russian accent. But then people are kind of like, the rest are like, I don't know if that makes sense.
I think a lot of it also has to do with visual cues on how we dress, because there's the expectation of, oh, he looks like an English lord. He's going to sound like an English lord. And then
Absolutely.
Keith comes out and sounds like he's Cockney, and everybody goes, the hell was that? And then he just goes, I've been spending too much time with this guy.
Yeah, right. Sorry about that.
You know, but it's
the choice of accents is always kind of interesting to me because there's so many people that are on cast that have different affectations that they have taken on, different accents that they mimic.
Because it's easier or not easy,
or
just
it's
be different.
Yeah, it's something that they have fallen into easily because of X, Y, or Z.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, like for example, my first language is not English. I spoke Taiwanese, Chinese, when I was I was still a babe. Stopped speaking it by the time I was 3. Don't understand a damn word,
No.
but I can pick up languages pretty quickly, and I can understand most of it. I can comprehend. I'm not able to fluent.
Mimic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't repeat, but I can understand. Which is really fun because and I blame my aunties for all of this. When I was growing up in Filipino households, they'll sit there and they'll make food, and they're all gathered around the table and they're talking shit about you, and you know they're talking shit about you because they all turn and look at you and start laughing.
Yeah.
They're just banking on the fact that you don't know what they're saying.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And then I started understanding, like, I pick up words here and there, like, doesn't have a girlfriend, or, he's blah, 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 he's in theater. And I'm like, you bitches are talking about me.
Yeah, see, we did a lot of the same thing in when I was growing up in my house, but we all spoke English. So, yeah.
That, you know what? Somehow I just learned
That's
so
just-
much about you so fast.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just being mean-spirited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there wasn't a lot
There's
of gray
Keith,
area in our household.
He's going to the bathroom, playing with himself again.
Yeah. I mean, not in that. No. Wow.
I let you get away with one Joseph, so
Joseph?
that's what you get. Okay, all right, you're asking for it again.
Come on, that's great.
All right, let me tell you the story behind this. We're going to my mom's house.
Yes.
Oh boy.
We went to Arizona last year. We were going to go down there specifically because we wanted to hit Arizona Ren Fair. And Keith's like, I want to go. Like, let's go down there. I'm like, dude, we'll go down. We'll make I'm going to stay for a week. You can just come down for the weekend. We'll stay at my mom's place. We'll zip out there and spend a day and then zip back. We're driving from here to Goodyear. It's a 15-hour drive. It sucks. The entire time we're driving, here's Keith. So, just so I don't get myself in trouble.
That was beautiful. That was immaculate.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. And he says, when we walk inside, shoes on, shoes off. I'm like, shoes off, unless you have athlete's foot, then shoes on. Okay. And then this is where it took the turn. He looks at me and he goes,
I had questions.
so Joe Coy, and I'm like, don't fucking do the voice of my mom. She will knock you out, dude. She's 4'11", and she is
right at your face.
she is
Yeah, that's what I was trying to find out.
Yep.
and then I said that, and then he goes, don't you mean sleeper? I'm like, I'm gonna fucking hurt you.
He goes, she'll take her shoe off, and I was like, slipper? And he's like, oh damn.
And you were like, and then we're never going back to mom's house.
Yeah, no, but and then the funny thing is that so he meets my mom, and my mom,
all 5 foot of this woman.
She's 4'11", and
I'm giving her 5 foot. 'cause
she
I like her.
absolutely loves the man, absolutely loves him, and she's like, hey,
She's about ready to replace you.
yeah, no, she might as well have.
Yeah.
No, she. My mother's very critical about who I associate with, because she's got some pretty high standards. She's a child of she's first generation. Well, she actually immigrated from the Philippines, but my mom speaks flawless English, understands Tagalog, does not speak it. So it's really funny because my mom raised me. And when she was raising me, my mom's a feminist. So she taught me how to respect people in general, period. You respect whoever until they prove that they don't deserve your respect.
Yeah.
Real simple lesson in life. So then she meets this dude, and I have zero, I'm like, Mom, this is Keith. He's my partner that I have at the Renaissance Festival. We've known each other for about a year now. He's a great dude. He's a veteran. We get along like this. We do a podcast. We do all this. My mom's like, well, that's cool. I didn't realize that you're into all of this stuff. And she's like, I should have realized you would have went back to performing because I did in high school. And she's like, so this big dude is an actor too? And I'm like, oh yeah, he does scary haunted houses. My mom's like, nope, not going there. And I was like, he also used to do Wild West. She goes, oh yeah, like down in Tombstone. I'm like, yeah, but not as big. Mm-hmm. And she's, but she was just like so enamored with him. And then when he left, she goes, where'd he go? And I'm like, he had to go back to work, Mom. And she goes, oh, well, he could have stayed. You could have left. And I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, she was great because, well,
I'm sure she was.
I loved her. Yeah, well, so we go to the fair, and then she was like, "Oh, what do you want for dinner?" And I'm like, "Oh,
oh God."
And so I was like, "Spaghetti," and I didn't think. We get back to the house. This woman has this pot of pasta made. Like, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, I know how many people are here. That's a lot of pasta.
It's just for you.
Yeah.
It's just for you.
And so
there was 2 different pots because we had stopped and grabbed some gluten-free.
There was gluten-free and then regular. And so I'm like, okay, so I get a plate of spaghetti, and I'm sitting there, and I finish
after the 3rd plate.
Yeah. Well, okay. So after the 2nd one, like I'm full. I'm like, oh my God, it was so good. I was hungry. Now I'm like, I'm full. And she goes, oh, do you want more? And I was like, oh, I said, oh no, really?
I had told him.
Yeah, I said, oh no, ma'am, thank you. I said, I've had enough, thank you. And she just looks over at the pot and she goes, well, there's more. And she just looks right back at me, and I was like, oh, I'm sure I could manage another plate. And I did. I got up and I hammered down a whole nother plate of spaghetti that
we're not talking small.
I did not want to offend this woman in any way. So
we're talking big
you're telling
plates.
Me if I really want a man to do what I want, I just need to do a
big pot of spaghetti.
Yes.
Well, it's also, my mom is she's terrified.
Yeah.
She's got that. I mean.
I am not terrifying in
as,
any way, shape, or form.
No.
When I set myself on fire, they're like, oh, that's cute.
Yeah, no. Well, which is really funny because like,
oh look, you're on fire.
I used to get smacked because I'm like, after I got taller than my mom, I smart ass kid. Well, where'd you go, Mom? Whack. Okay. All right, cool. And then when I joined the year that I joined the military, my mom hates it when I tell this story.
I didn't even know you were in the military.
Yeah, I did 22 years in the Army. It was a blast. I'll tell you what I did in a few minutes, because it was so much fun. So my mom and I, the year that I joined the Army, it was the Halloween right before. We used to go every Halloween. We went to go watch a scary movie, and my mom picked Wes Craven's People Under the Stairs.
Oh,
great movie.
That's
awesome.
Awesome movie.
Great movie.
Not the tone.
Not for the faint of heart.
No. My brain was somewhere else, and I'm going to tell you why. So, when we walk out from the car to come up, the building runs this way, and then you've got a little jut out, right? The ticket booth sticks out. We're coming from one direction. On the other side of the fucking ticket booth, there's this dude in a gorilla suit. And he's hiding there, and he's jumping out and scaring people. I didn't realize he was there because it's dark. My mom goes walking by. Now, first off, this dude is probably about Keith's size, height-wise. My mom's 4'11". Yeah. My mom's 4'11". Homeboy jumps out and down.
Like over the top of her.
No. Like in her face.
Okay.
The problem is my mom is brown belt in judo. And my mom busted this dude's nose wide open, and I'm not talking about like she bloodied him. Like he had to go to the ER. So this is the funny part, and this is why I could not take people under the stairs seriously. First off, here's my mom, 4'11". She just did like a Mighty Mac from Mike Tyson's Punch Out and fucking nailed this dude. Second, the guy rips off the mask. And blood gushing, like nose twisted to the side. Immediately starts profusely apologizing to my mom for scaring the shit out of him.
He's apologizing.
I'm doing what you're doing.
On his face.
Yeah. I'm doing what you're doing. I'm laughing. My mom smacks me and says, "Shut up! I think I broke his nose." And my mom's apologizing to him. He's apologizing to her. I'm laughing.
she smacks me and says, "Get inside!" And so we go inside. My mom looks at the guy and says, I think you need to go to the hospital. I think I may have broken your nose. And he's like, it's okay, it's my fault. I shouldn't have done that. I'll go get checked out. So we go inside the theater. We watch the movie. I am dying the entire time.
Your
I
brain
cannot.
is not even thinking about this movie. You're
Wes
like,
Craven is doing his stuff. And
anybody who's dangerous,
and
my
I'm
mom
just-
would take him out, so
I'm
it doesn't
just
even matter.
dying. I'm literally laughing my ass off. And so then we get out of the movie theater. And the guy that she busted his nose, didn't realize this. That's the owner of the movie theater.
Oh!
And he's got a book of tickets in his hand.
To apologize to her for her breaking his nose.
And he's wearing one of those little metal braces on his nose. And so now you see why, like my mom is awesome, dude. My mom is amazing.
Wow.
So when I took Keith to meet my mom, it was kind of like, all right, dude, this is a treat for you because this is funny. And he's like, I don't understand.
It was real funny when you're eating all those carbs, huh?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
no,
yeah.
it's so
I
that's
regretted that about like an hour
and
later.
that's where that look comes in. You know, she's kind of terrifying.
Yeah, she just looked at the pot and then looked back. Oh, yeah, no, I'm good. I'll get another one. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, so with my military service, I started off, I was a communications guy.
Okay.
Then they said, hey, go find something else to do. We're deleting the job. I said, oh, okay. Then I found broadcast journalism was an actual job.
In the military?
In the military.
What?
Broadcaster.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
oh yeah, dude. So I played Casey Kasem for a year, actually 2 years when I was stationed in Korea.
Okay.
I was a radio DJ. I was the afternoon drive time guy that I was up there talking smack about people, spinning tunes and having good things. And then during the daytime, I was running around doing video footage, recording, making commercials, doing video work, and some of the things that are crazy that
doing
I
all the shit I do, but government was paying for your health insurance.
and my travel.
Yeah.
And my travel. I mean, some of the things that I've done, it's crazy. I recorded Hillary Clinton at the DMZ. I've got 15 seconds in a Super Bowl commercial that I'm responsible for the video footage. It's some of the stuff that I've done. It's everybody's like, oh, thank you for your service. I'm like, dude,
You don't even know.
you don't like. I hung out with Hoobastank, Seven Dust, a bunch of like old school world like WWF wrestlers.
Yeah.
Like Scotty 2 Hotty and freaking Kip Jane. Really dumb things. I got a chance to spend the day with Gary Sinise. Now I get to hang out with his nephew.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But it's goofy because a lot of the things that I learned, I apply to what Keith and I do as far as the Renaissance Rascals is concerned. So everything that we try doing, any venture that we get into, like inviting guests on, it's great if it's me and him riffing. We love to have fun. We're cut
I
up.
can see that.
But at the same point, it's better when
Yes.
we need more expertise in other
Expertise.
things. Seriously.
Yes.
I mean,
I'm gonna leave.
Because I'm totally, I would totally throw knives at Rob,
You could.
but I'm pretty sure that's just going to be a one-time thing.
he's really afraid that I'll catch it and throw it back.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, you are Asian,
Speaking
so
of which,
Yeah.
just
you
saying.
want to guess what the next trick next?
Are
week
you
is?
serious?
Spoiler alert.
I may have to.
We're
make
trying. We're figuring it out.
Yeah.
Can we be involved in the rehearsals of that? Because I want to record that.
I totally want to see it.
I want to see Cy with a knife in his hand.
We'll see.
Like, yo,
It
dude.
depends on what stage we're on and that sort of aspects.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
And audience danger and that.
yeah. Well, much as we said last year, if you ever need people to wrangle and keep people back, let us know.
Yeah.
We can definitely
Sometimes,
help you guys out.
Especially with the Wheel of Death this year, it was like, guys, you cannot be right there. That's a bad idea.
Well, and even talking with Jacques, he had the same issue.
Yeah, they were like so right. They're like, do you not understand?
Like, we have to
You
stop the
don't
show.
wanna be hit.
We have to stop the show, otherwise we're going to hurt you.
Yeah.
I caught you guys saying that a couple of times. I caught Jacques saying that. I'm like, I don't get it. Like, what's wrong with these kids' danger sense? Where's it at?
Like, I understand not having fear, but being stupid is a whole different thing.
Well, common sense isn't very common.
Fair.
It's a superpower.
It is. At times, you are absolutely correct.
The delivery of that was just great.
I'm gonna cut that. And I'm gonna make that one of my buttons.
It's good.
That's
That's
one of my
totally-
buttons.
Oh, I get to be button.
It's a superpower. It's a superpower. It's like Keith eating spaghetti. It's a superpower.
It's a superpower. In my case, it is.
Yeah. Especially after 3 plates.
Oh, dude.
I don't know how you made it out of there, dude.
That's more carbs than I could eat in a week.
Oh.
There was lots of regret.
Well,
Sure.
not only that, but she also had like French bread, like garlic
Oh
bread
yeah,
out and everything.
there was bread
Yeah.
on top of that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't.
She had so much food, and I'm like, Mom, dude, it's just us. She goes, it's all right, you can eat it.
Yeah. She didn't care. Like my
Food was going to go in.
Oh,
my
It was
comfort.
going in one way or
yeah,
another.
yeah.
My
yeah.
comfort was not anything
Had
on her
nothing
radar.
to do
She
with
just
And if
wanted
he
to make sure
wasn't
I ate.
flying, she would have sent him home with a Tupperware.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
That would have happened.
I'm surprised she didn't.
Because you were flying.
Yeah.
Because you can't. How are you going to get that in? It's just going to be in your check bag, then all your shit's going to get ruined. Yeah. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, dude.
It is.
So, coming up on on Crazy Adventures,
Crazy adventure time.
have you heard about this really cool thing that's happening? Like, all the cool kids know about it. You don't know about it yet?
There's a lot of there's
There's chatter.
there's chatter amongst there's chatter amongst the interwebs
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
The internets
hap-
are talking.
things are happening. Yeah.
Usually do.
Yeah.
Not
yeah.
about good things though.
Oh, no, this
This
is a
is
really
good.
good thing.
Good?
This is
Yeah.
good.
Okay, lay it on me.
This is gonna blow your mind.
Okay. All right. Let's set the scene real quick, okay?
All right. So,
All right.
yep.
Picture, if you will. We're in the 1700s. Okay. All right. There's a cool island breeze blowing. As the doors open, and you find yourself in the midst of a tavern on the island of Tortuga. Oh, that's a... Cut that.
Cut it.
Yeah.
Cut
Steve, cut that.
Yeah.
That's promo.
it. That was good.
We are putting on a show in February.
You're putting on a show?
Yes. No.
No, in
No.
general?
No, we're actually going to be up in Denver at the Mercury Cafe.
Shit, no.
Yeah.
Shit, yes.
Saturday, February 8th from 8 until 11. It is a night, the Renaissance Rascals presents a night in Tortuga.
Yeah.
And it is ridiculous because there's going to be
Keith wouldn't let me do the really fun things, so let me list the things that we're not allowed to have in the show, okay?
no rhinoceroses.
To include unicorns.
He tried.
I tried.
He
I
tried.
tried.
He tried to say they were supersized unicorns.
Yeah, I tried.
It didn't work.
No elephants. No dancing bears.
No explosives.
No, I disagree.
No fire. Yeah. No pistol play. Yeah. No chucking midgets.
But that would have been fun.
Yeah.
That was not me.
Yeah.
That was the midget association.
Yeah.
Yeah. They.
Yeah.
they
Little
are
people
firmly
tossing
against
apparently
that
is
sort
out of it.
Excuses.
Yeah. No.
But what there will be is live shanties.
It's shanty sing along. This is designed to be what's the
You keep using it.
Immersive.
there you go.
Okay.
An immersive experience of sea shanties, comedy,
So-
improv actors.
We wanted to make it so yeah. There's music, there's dancing, there's comedy, there's improv, there's us, and it's like a stage show, but not.
Okay.
So it's like you're not going in there just to go sit and watch people do on a stage. It's gonna be
I've got
once
people.
you come inside the door,
You're in
you are
Tortuga.
in you are in the tavern. So the stage is the entire room. So we're gonna have actors work in the room. Rob and I will be around the room. The musicians will be going around dancing.
We also have a merch table that we can sell things at.
Brilliant.
such as these fantastic Renaissance Rascal mugs that
Look
you
at
can
that.
pick up.
How do you like that? You can buy these online.
You can for $55.
Or you can wait until the festival and get them for $50.
That's a savings of $5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's processing fees.
That's almost as much. You if you bought this at fair, you could save just as much to get yourself a Scotch egg to go along with
you're
your
about
brand
$2
new mug.
short.
Yeah,
About $2 short.
But you know, you're almost there.
You're almost there.
You're almost there.
If you want that other dollar, you can fight her. It ain't gonna happen.
She's got knives, bro.
Vicious, dude.
It's not good.
Well, okay.
And she can hit you from a distance.
Right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's not good.
Not just choppy, but throwy.
We actually added that to the show after we left Colorado, surprisingly. So we got to Pennsylvania. It was really hard. People were not as receptive to the show in Pittsburgh as they were in Colorado. And so anytime one of us missed a knife, literally we lost the whole audience. We would gone. Like, people would get up, walk away, gone. I know, right?
What?
I know, right? So we came up with a ploy to make it into a game, where we each had 5 $1 bills on us the entire show. And any knife that was missed, the show was paused, the money came out, the dollar bill was handed to the other, and then we went back to our places. So then it was comedy.
You know, I like that.
I like it. Yeah.
I like that.
And it was
what's
amazing.
London Broil does the same thing
Yeah.
on their setup, where they basically want to, you know, whenever they drop it, they want you to boo them. They want you to call them out on it. And I when I first saw that, I was like, that is a really neat way to get the audience involved.
Invested,
They're
yeah.
engaged.
Yeah.
They're like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
They want to be presented with how they need to feel.
Sure.
That's what an audience
You're giving them
wants.
validation.
Tell
Yep,
me,
absolutely.
they want you to tell them how they should perceive something.
Yeah.
And so we're telling them, this is a funny joke between the two of us. We totally make bets on who loses the knives. Like, and especially like if he's swallowing the curved sword and I've missed a knife and he just paused and he's stuck with a sword down his throat going like this.
Oh.
Or I'm behind the paper and the knife misses and I just hold the paper up and I just wave like this. And he passes me the money. The whole show stops just to pass this dollar bill with no words, just a silent. And it's
I like it.
immaculate.
That's
I
cool.
can't wait to bring it to Colorado.
It's a great-
and see how people receive it there.
It's a
Yeah.
great.
I mean, it's a really neat way to kind of, you know, draw in the, oh, okay, I see. For those that are paying attention.
right.
Right.
They're like, they're friends. One. And two is no. What happened? Is she hurt? Is something happen? It takes that totally out of the equation. They're like, oh, okay, now it's funny. Okay, now we're okay.
Watching your guys' show, I always get the idea, like the
There's an old song, you might remember it. Anything you can do, I can do better.
Oh yeah.
The boy and the girl going back and forth, and
But
that's
it's in a playful
yeah,
way,
no, but that's
you know,
that's what I see your guys' show in that very.
Yeah.
I've always viewed that as a playful thing.
It's like almost a game. It's like almost a thing of like, you know, one-upsmanship.
Right.
Yes.
You
And-
know,
but there's
oh,
also
you've got
that-
you did that. Well, I'm gonna do this.
There's that sexist duality to
Yeah.
it as well, where everyone's like, oh, okay, well, what is she gonna do now? Like, especially when we bring up kids on stage and they're telling you do a handstand, and like, okay, we'll throw knives around while you're doing a handstand. Okay, I'll do the splits while you do a handstand. Like, we always are just trying to like.
One up it, and then yeah.
In those moments, we've not practiced that. Like a lot of those things, it's just impromptu in the moment. Wow. Cyrus, trust me, we're gonna do this, and we do it.
You're talking each other up, yeah.
Yeah.
For a lot of the exchanges, like not even words, but visual exchanges we're giving each other is like, "Are you okay with this? Yeah, I'm okay with it. We're good to go." And just committing.
So
to doing it.
it's real banter. It's not scripted out. It is.
Some of it is scripted, but a lot of it is in the moment, like impromptu.
Wow.
Just improv. A
Yeah.
lot of our dialogue
Yeah.
is improv, unless we find something lands every single time.
Sure.
Then we'll add it. But
Sure.
For the most part, everything just.
Yeah, when you
it
get gold,
flows.
you stick with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we try and be as, because that also makes people feel like they're almost just watching a movie in a way
Right.
of these two people's relationship, them having this like fun time together.
It's like Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Well, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with knives.
I think they had knives. They had guns.
They had lots of guns. I'm trying to I'm playing the scene back in my head
Yeah.
when they're fighting in the house.
Yeah.
She did have a knife.
I think she did have a knife.
She did have a knife. She threw the knives to get to a gun.
Yeah.
guarantee you shouldn't throw him right though.
Well, probably not, but
Well, it's Brad Pitt. What are you gonna do?
Not any damage whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be almost like a crime. Isn't he like a national treasure or something?
I believe
I
so.
don't
Yes.
know,
Yeah.
but actually throwing knives doesn't really do much damage. Break the illusion now, guys. It's not how it is in the movies.
Oh no! It's not like a end all. Like, oh my God, I threw that so hard it crushed his chest.
I would rather throw a knife and it hit somebody with the handle than with the point. If I had to throw a knife. to save
I
my
would,
life.
from my training, I would say it depends on what the impact that you're going for. Obviously, it's not gonna throwing a knife at somebody.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
That's them saying that, not me.
Don't throw knives at your little brother.
Unless he
What he did.
unless he deserves it.
I was the little brother, so don't throw knives at your little brother.
But what he did.
But
That's what I'm saying. It's,
Trained professional.
don't do this at home. When I was studying through martial arts, it really depends on the impact.
Yeah.
Most of the time, you don't want to lose your force multiplier.
You
You-
don't want to throw away your weapon.
Right.
That's
That's what we're talking about, force multiplier.
Yeah.
Because I could punch you, and it does a little bit of damage. I can stab you; it does 10 times more damage than me punching you.
Right.
And so that's force multiplication,
And that's the concept behind it. So why would I throw my knife at Keith? No.
No.
I would throw spaghetti at him and then stab him with the knife.
well, you throw spaghetti at me and just walk away. I'm going to be busy for a while.
I know, but it's just funny to stab you. I didn't say.
I mean, I appreciate that.
I didn't say where I was going to stab you.
At
Oh,
least you had your last meal.
right. And
Oh,
it was,
no,
and it was
again,
spaghetti.
we're not trying to kill him. I
Yeah.
still need him.
Yeah.
If I get rid of him, I got to find another job.
Yeah.
I'm kind of tied to him.
Kind of.
I've been threatened already that if I get rid of him,
Interesting marriage.
it really
It
is.
is.
It's
Yeah.
we're the weird odd couple.
We have levels.
Yeah.
I get it.
No, I just stab him in the ass. Right in the big butt cheek.
Why does it have to be a big butt cheek? Why can't it just be a?
You're 6'3".
I mean,
It's not a tiny butt cheek.
So there's that.
You're 200 and
Some odd
Don't need
pounds.
to play. No, listen. 'Cause I am not a marriage therapist. I'm not ready for this.
we get that a lot.
Well, you're about to be one.
Yeah, right.
Okay, well, listen. Your
So-
communication is really bad.
Listen here, Doc.
The way that our both of our mothers have described us is we're like brothers.
Yeah.
Yes, I can. See
We communicate like brothers that actually like each other.
Yep.
Yeah. When I talked to my mom, and she's like, "How long have you known Rob?" And at that time, I don't know.
About 9 months.
I said, yeah, maybe a year. She's like, no, wait, really, how long? And I'm like,
Yeah.
no,
And
like
you
a
guys
year.
definitely give off like we've been
And
friends for the last 25
she
years.
goes, that's what she said. She goes, I thought you'd known him for years. And I'm like, no.
No.
You just click with people sometimes. There are some people you just like click with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of it has to do both of us are veterans and we kind of have the same warped sense of humor.
Yeah, pretty
That
much.
definitely helps.
It really does.
Yeah.
Some of the things that we say
not on camera.
or on the streets of Larkspur,
Yeah.
it's kind of goofy, and we won't repeat it because people get offended, and that's how we get canceled.
And in certain situations, like we're the only, we can make jokes that only he and I are going to get.
Yeah.
And unless you were like in the military or around that kind of thing, you don't understand. It's just gibberish, you know.
Yep.
So
Yep.
there's a couple
and
people
e-
go,
even
I
on-
know you
even in
said.
different branches. There's
Yeah,
a whole
absolutely.
nother-
100%.
Like I lived on a Marine Corps base and
Yep.
then I lived on a Navy base. I'm like, oh, these are two different places.
Yep.
Yes.
There's far more crayon eaters on a Marine base.
Oh, but they're so much more fun to play with.
Oh, they are. I honestly, I will give. This is the weird thing about veterans. We will mess with each other, but you better not touch them.
Yeah.
Don't even. You haven't walked that route. Shut up.
Yep.
It's. I'll mess with. He was in the Air Force, so I'll mess with him. He'll try to say something. I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna sit back down, you little bastard. Or we've got friends that are part of the Crimson Mark that are Navy, and I think there's a Marine in there too.
Yeah, Submarines.
Navy, Marine, usually.
Yeah, Navy guys I love messing with because they're hilarious. And,
Yeah.
It's, yay, anchors the way,
They also take it a little too seriously.
Yeah.
Let's be real. I
They're-
can say that because my ex was in the movie.
You know what they do take seriously? Sailors take drinking seriously
Yes, they do.
to a whole new level.
Oh,
Yeah,
a
it's-
brand new
Yeah.
spectrum. of-
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're. I joke and I say I'm a professional alcoholic. Those dudes,
They live it.
those are they're
It
they're
runs in their veins.
they're like there's too much blood in my alcohol system, and you can trust that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Marines, on the other hand, Marines will eat anything,
Good on you too.
anything. But I learned the secret to their hearts.
Gotta be really cute.
Or you make lumpia.
Oh, that'll do it. That'll do it.
But that's how I win everybody over. I'm like,
That's how it
"Hey,
won me over.
I cook.
Yeah.
I'm a little
I was
Filipino
like,
dude.
carbs, yeah.
Carbs.
Yeah. Are you noticing a theme here?
Carbs.
Yeah.
Although, I do owe you some adobo because I haven't made that since we've been friends. That is I make mine with chicken, pork, and adobo, but it's a stew
Yeah.
with potatoes. Oh. Cute.
Cue the music.
So you said you were just wrapping up. Have you guys started shooting already?
No, so I haven't
Okay.
started shooting already. So I am an
Can't
actor
really-
as well.
Can't really tell the
Tell?
title or much about the project.
Really, I'm working with. I was reached out to, sidetrack, by a person who said, "We have friends. This is who he is. Look him up on IMDb." Okay. His name is Bobby Lee Black. He was a professional WWE wrestler, and then he was the
Hold on, I have to stop you right there. So you're talking about Bobby Black, big dude, very
was the lead stunt actor performer for the Punisher movies. Yes.
so funny backstory to that is years ago I actually wrestled with him.
Oh, wow.
So
Small world.
Yeah, dude,
this-
7
this
degrees of bacon, right?
This tattoo here,
Yeah.
he did it.
Small world.
So just throwing that out there.
Hey,
So I know exactly who you're talking
You
about.
know who I'm talking
I know
you can
Bobby.
hear his
Yes.
Growly, gravelly.
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Mustachy voice.
So I'm just gonna
It's a mustachy voice.
It is.
I'm just
he
gonna-
goes-
throw this out here.
He is the type of guy that looks, or I should say, he sounds exactly like he looks.
Oh my God.
Like when he talks, you go, that would be his voice. Yeah.
so I'm just gonna throw this out there. You know this dude. She knows this dude. Why the hell don't we have any parts? What's going on?
I don't know.
You're slacking, man.
I'm just saying.
Work
I haven't talked to him
the
in years,
lead.
but yeah. He used to be out here, and we did a wrestling promotion out here in Colorado, and yeah.
Yeah.
So
So I did a episodic docudrama, and he's friends with the director-writer of that, and it was basically like, hey dude, look at this thing I'm editing. And he was like, who's that? I want her for my movie. And it's still being put together. We're in the middle of getting ready to shoot a sizzle reel.
Okay.
Which is you shoot basically a scene so you can take that to people and say, hey, this is the concept of the movie.
Right.
Give us money. Ta-da.
it's that easy.
It's that easy, apparently.
We
I
got
wouldn't know.
plenty of footage.
Nobody's gonna pay to see that movie. Nobody's gonna pay to see that movie.
You don't know unless you try.
I just know that nobody's gonna pay to see that. They're gonna be
I
like,
mean, I know that as well, but at least let's try.
I've seen what I need to see. All right, moving on.
All right, fair enough.
We're gonna end up on somebody's cutting room floor before it even goes to principal footage.
I don't know what all that means, but
See,
Um,
talent,
Yeah.
yeah,
Talent.
I'm just
the talent, less.
Yes.
full.
Of shit.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All that to say, basically, I don't
Yeah.
have a title. I don't have anything beyond that to give you because.
Well, that's
I'm
okay.
right here at the very beginning of, which is for me is really because I also I have a production company and I want to make my own films. I'm kind of like trying to be right there at the cusp of figuring out.
If you need some really weird, estranged hetero life partners for anything,
We know a couple guys.
We might know some people.
Yeah.
But on
phone
on,
call away.
on a completely serious note, I'm what people call a collector.
Okay.
Okay, I collect friends and I collect people that
You're a
are
dragon.
talented.
Yeah, you're a dragon.
I'm a goblin.
Well, he doesn't eat them.
Yeah, I'm
No, dragons. No.
I'm-
Horde is friends.
I'm a goblin.
Which is really funny because that nice little chip emblem in the back there, the one that's just over your, I guess that would be your right shoulder. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Our ship is actually comprised of a lot of performers,
Some of which,
have been on movies.
so if you're looking for some actors, we might know some people.
Well, I'll just keep that just notated.
Yeah, we aren't what people coin as influencers. We are community builders.
Yeah.
As you should be. I think always, like, you are going to, especially just given how everything is changing so rapidly.
Yep.
It's changing in the movie industry. It's
Yep.
changing in the social media industry,
Yep.
especially, like, right now.
Yep.
That is what you have to do. The
Yep.
funnels no longer work the way they did 2 years ago.
Correct.
It's completely different now.
I would even wager
You
to say
cannot
a
survive.
year.
Yeah.
A year ago, all the pipelines and funnels are changing.
It's completely different.
The algorithms have gotten smarter to be able to almost eradicate homegrown for more sponsored content.
Or depending, they want sponsored content in a certain way, and they don't want sponsored content in a certain
Right.
way. Like for me, like even if on my set in the background, write the word Patreon, that video immediately gets tens of thousands of less views.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't say anything.
Nope.
I didn't mention anything.
Nope.
There's nothing in the description.
You're advertising.
And it's backwards in the video.
Yep. You're advertising.
You told somebody to go off our platform.
Yep.
So we're done.
And you're advertising.
Yeah.
That's the thing is that like
You're advertising
any
yourself, not
any
advertising somebody
yeah
else.
any type of advertisement that brings attention away from that platform, you're done.
Yep.
So that's why like most of the time when we talk, you can find us on YouTube and Facebook. We have a TikTok channel, but it's really used for when we are on the streets at Larkspur.
Yeah.
Because we don't have time. He lives 45 minutes away from it.
Yep.
So it's hard for us to make content like that.
It's an easy, in the moment content maker.
Correct.
But I don't even use TikTok that way.
Right.
I film and edit all of my things outside of all platforms.
Yep.
And then I post them as is in certain order
Right.
at certain like
Or
it's a
you're
whole
snipping
thing.
it down so that it fits that algorithm
Yeah,
or whatever.
YouTube
Yep.
is just a mess with that.
Yeah.
I
They're
hate
shorts,
that so
yeah.
much. Because I film stuff that goes on TikTok and Instagram. It can be anywhere from 3 to 10 minutes. They boost things that are 3 to 10 minutes, but Instagram is like, or YouTube is like, no, it has to be 60 seconds. I'm like, well, how do I make the first 60 seconds of my video captivating enough that it's a whole video on YouTube, and also captivating enough that someone sticks around over here that it doesn't lose the plot?
Right.
It's like,
You almost have to have two different projects at the same time.
which is kind of what I do. And,
Yeah.
And like, especially now that TikTok is probably not going to be a thing, transferring all of my live streaming from TikTok to Twitch and that sort of thing.
And
It's
that's
been a
even
whole
that is
nother-
dangerous.
Yeah, because that might also go too, and it's just,
Well, and Twitch's community has been hit or miss.
oh, if you can
And a lot of it gets buried unless you're one of those e-girls or you have
I'm
like
hoping, my hope with Twitch is that I'm unique enough, because in my lives, I do like I do in my videos. I'm sitting there lighting my hands on fire and
Yeah.
casting spells and casting guidance where I look like I'm setting the phone on fire.
Right.
And it's all complete immersive roleplay.
Right.
I'm saying I'm casting a sending spell, and that's why you can see me. Everything is in roleplay.
right.
And so, even though they're not wildly huge, I don't have 500 people. I don't usually have about 200 or 300 people.
That's still a lot.
Everyone in there is role playing with me.
Right.
Right.
They're telling me this is my character, or what's my quest, what do
Right.
I need to do? Do you need help? I want to order this drink. They're role playing with me, and my hope is, even if it starts out small on Twitch, I can start to develop a core. People are like, oh, that's what this
All right,
is.
So you said this is the first time you've done a podcast.
Yes.
So here's the challenge for you.
Mm-hmm.
Run a game.
Run a game?
Run a game.
In character?
Like run a game. And dude,
We've got the space.
I would.
Run a game.
I would love to. Well, right now I'm in the process of, because people ask me all the time. We love Talise. Can she be an NPC? Can I put her in my game? Can I put her in my thing? I'm developing character sheets and artwork to sell digitally for people, for like $2 or $3.
Yeah.
So they have basically her at level 5, all of her spells, what she calls them, as a character to add to their stories.
That's cool.
And then I'm working at building, and it would be for E5 and for Pathfinder.
Yeah.
I want to write a book. I want to write a handbook, basically, for E5 and Pathfinder. It's called the Wholesome Manual. So it's literally just NPCs and ideas to run the wholesome sides of campaigns, or if someone wanted to run a whole wholesome campaign, like a guide to be able to do that.
That's
so
cool.
I would love to be able to, if I could sit here in my character and like run a game, that would be so fun.
Wouldn't that be neat?
That would be so fun.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like you got heavy hitters like Critical Role.
Yep.
You've got there's another guy that's coming out, and these dudes are like huge production.
Roll 20?
No, I'll get you the name later. I've been meaning to add them onto our rotation of unofficial sponsors because they just ran through a GoFundMe, or not a GoFundMe, but Kickstarter. But looking at their sizzle reel, oh my God, their production value is way high.
Nice.
They've got their background is like caverns, like so they've got faux rocks in the background. They're using dollies, gimbals. They're using this is like
They are
full.
honestly, they're players, but their day jobs is they are.
Yeah, somebody.
Yeah.
They've got a sound guy. They got a light guy. I mean, you could see from the pictures, and it's, dude. I'm telling you guys, I want to see this because they've got like 6 people sitting at the table, and one of them's a DM, and their tabletop is just glorious. It's like miniatures and freaking 3D terrain and like
They're
special
all
effects.
in.
Like these guys went full send.
Nice.
And-
I mean, you kind of have to now, especially after Critical Role, to stand
Right.
out,
Well,
for sure.
not just Critical Role, but you've also got VLDL, Viva La Dirt League. Those guys,
Viva La Dirt League just.
they exploded. They exploded once they got their studio down, their new studio that's like a warehouse.
Yeah.
Those guys have exploded, and I
Good on 'em,
absolutely
too.
love them.
Yeah.
They're awesome. Not only they started off, they were doing their little.
The gaming stuff.
Yeah, they were.
Skyrim-y.
Well, they were making fun of Skyrim. They were making fun of PUBG and all those the top 10 games, and then they started going into the Tech Town stuff.
Yeah.
And now they've got little shorts on like life.
Yeah.
Like they've got like real life stuff, and they make fun of a lot of different things.
Yeah, they're doing
But
great.
they're a full production company.
Yes, they are.
You know,
And good on them, too. because
I
they
would
deserve it. All
love-
the work they've put into their stuff.
I would love, absolutely kill anybody out there. I'm not a contract killer, but like legitimately, would love to get that kind of level. It would that to me would be phenomenal to have the Renaissance Rascals as a production company that caters to all things nerddom.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even though he's really not a nerd yet, you
We'll
know.
get there.
I dabble.
We'll show the
I dip my
transformation.
toe in the nerd pool. Just like
He's
test the water.
he's interested. It's just he hasn't had the opportunities.
Yeah.
That's the big
hard
thing.
part. Opportunity is one of the biggest. I'm lucky that I grew up in the house that I did, where TTRPG was what we did.
Yeah.
I mean, from 40K to do.
Oh, God,
to,
dude.
To like everything.
I'm sorry, all the nerd boys over there. I could just hear them going, "Oh my god!"
Hi, Henry Cavill.
Right? I'm with you on that one.
Paint minis.
Dude, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that.
I too also PC.
Like, dude, if you ever want to have like a paint date, I'll be the chaperone. What?
We'll definitely be the chaperone.
I know. That's why I said that.
Yes. Anyway, so I grew up in a house that played that. So before my brothers moved out, it's first week of the month is my dad's game, the next week of the month is my brother's game, the next week of the month is my game, and then my next brother's game. And we were playing four different
campaigns.
4 different campaigns, sometimes 4 different games, and different campaigns in each game.
Oh, that's
Once
wild,
we
dude.
Once we could kind of cycle through characters,
Yeah.
we can practice DMing our own styles
Yeah.
and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then, like, my dad, he's part of one of the biggest gaming groups here in Colorado Springs and Colorado in general. And he...
I might have met him at some point in time.
Very
That's
possible. And
That's I've been here for a while, and
yeah,
I've
it's probably.
yeah. If he's done any type of tabletop wargaming, I probably met him. I got out of 40K a long time ago.
He's fallen off it. He's finding more niche things now.
Our
especially-
new thing is Infinity.
Corvus Belli.
Yeah.
The models are gorgeous.
He's especially anything that's like Patreon based or Kickstarter
Okay.
and that sort of thing. And like he got really into Me, Myself, and Die on
Okay,
YouTube.
yeah,
And that sort of
yeah,
things. He's
yeah.
like, this is really cool. Anyway. So
Sorry,
we're always,
you're zoned out over there.
Yeah, I'm just like, all right, cool.
So we're
Yeah,
always
totally.
able to cycle characters and practice characters
Sure.
and do those role plays. But my dad knows people are like, hey, could you run a campaign for us? You know, we've never played, but we'd like to play. My dad goes, I'm gonna bring Sarah because I will make them role play.
Okay.
You have to have someone at the table who's
Okay.
plant.
Yeah.
You speak to my heart.
Yes.
So I moved up to the Springs in 2012, and I found this group that was playing there was a little shop down here called Dragons Dragoons. They're gone now. I found this little group. I made a really good friend. He was running a Margaret Weiss's Firefly.
Okay, Firefly.
And this, you'll love this. So he had a very big table that was like 10 players at a table, massive. And I was like, dude, I love that series. I want to play. How do I get in? And he goes, well, I'll put your name on the list, but there's 10 people and they're not dying. And I said, okay, cool. I said, well, just let me know. About a month goes by and I'm just kind of bar flying it, just like listening. And then he comes up to me and he's like, hey, Rob, I need you to go ahead and make a character. I'm like, all right, cool. Let me borrow your books. I'm gonna go ahead and make a character. So I made a character, and sorry, this is funny. His name is Jonathan Cachet. Do you know the name?
No.
No. Short Round.
Oh.
The actor that played Short Round.
Okay, I got you now.
Oh.
Okay.
Got you now.
That's his actual. Well, that was when he played Data on Goonies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Short
That was
Round,
his acting
that was his acting name. So I made Jonathan Cachet, but I fashioned him after Billy the Kid.
Brilliant.
Nice.
So
Brilliant, especially for Firefly.
yes, no, it was great because he's shit all at everything else other than gunplay. He is the Prince of Pistoliers, and he told people that I'm the fastest thing that you're going to see. And so I show up at the table, and everybody's talking normally. And so I come in and I sit down, and I got my little binder, got it closed up so that on the front is a picture of him.
Yeah, you always
That-
gotta
that-
have a picture so people know.
Right.
Well, and I took. Have you ever watched Sukiyaki Western Django? So the
Why are you looking at me?
because-
Like you should already know the answer.
dude,
I appreciate
it's a
you. I appreciate-
Tarantino movie.
I appreciate the inclusion.
I am going to have to
But-
educate you. This is one of the best things that I've seen Tarantino do. I absolutely loved this flick. It's a Western that is based off of a Japanese lore.
Yeah.
And it's great. We're going to have
It's
to watch
very
this.
imaginative.
Yes.
It's very outside the box.
Yes.
Especially when everything's so similar, you're gonna get like a real refresh of
Yes.
oh, this is what a movie could be.
Yes. So the guy that wears the main character with the hickey, he wears the white.
yeah.
That was my character.
Oh,
So gorgeous man,
Beautiful dude, dumb as rocks.
love it.
So
Every day.
I sit down, I got my little binder, and we're sitting there talking. And so it comes to the point where he's like, all right, and you guys see, and then he looks at me and he says, introduce your character. And so I hold up the picture. I don't say a fucking thing. And everyone's like, okay. And then one of the players goes, well, aren't you going to say anything? And outside of character, I'm like, well, why would I? Why do I need to talk to you? What's my motivation?
Yeah.
And
He's
so
an actor.
so everyone's
Yeah.
like, well, because we have this. I'm like, I don't know you have that. As a player, I know you have that, but as a character. And so then,
We're in the role playing.
yeah, I was in it.
Yeah.
And so then the game master looks at me and he goes, okay, Rob, let me give you a little bit of a hand. This guy, and he points to one character, and he's like, you have a problem with him. I said, okay.
Okay.
And he goes, all right, and I'm going to plant another seed for you. And I said, okay, cool. And he goes, this guy right here, you know that he has a ship, and you want his ship. And I said, bet, game on.
So they used to do this thing where they hold up
They cross their fingers if they're out of character. I am a dick because if you are sitting at a table with me, I too, I'm a gaming snob. So, hi there, Captain. How you doing today? And they're like, what? I'm like, okay. And so then I switch a little. I'm like, all right, let me go into it a little bit more. I'm like, I hear you got a ship. And he goes, yeah. I said, well, I want it.
and he goes, well, you can't have it. And I'm like, motioning down to his hip,
Yeah.
and the guy that's playing the captain's like, you got a twitch or something? I'm like, some call me twitchy.
Only once. And he goes, what do you mean, only once? Well, they don't normally breathe well out of a hole in their forehead. And he just kind of looks at me and goes, did you just threaten me? And I said, no, I'm making you a promise. Now about that ship. And everybody at the table was like, what the hell just happened?
We're at a whole new game.
Like, and everyone
We're
was
in
just
a
like,
whole
what the
different game.
fuck? And so the entire time that I'm playing this campaign, my hands are visible on the table. Never once did I cross my fingers or say I'm out of character.
And I systematically started eliminating people in the party. Because one dude goes,
Yeah, I used to work for the Alliance.
yep, you're going to die.
And everyone goes, why did you kill him? I'm like, his Alliance scum. He worked for
The feds. And from what I gather, you guys are not on the right side of the law.
And so they were just like the whole party was just like, what the
Their
fuck
brain.
happened?
You broke their brains.
And so this went on for sessions. For sessions I was doing this, and I was living in the character.
And then it got to a point where I started changing the accent. I started talking more with a southern drawl.
Yeah.
And we started talking a little bit more like, I'll tell you what, I'm your Huckleberry.
And so then everyone was like, oh God, what is going on? Like, why did his accent change? What is going on?
Changed, yeah.
And it was great because people, you've been at tables or you've been at places where people want to talk over each other.
Yeah.
So they get louder and louder. I went the opposite route.
Oh, it was like a rattlesnake, dude. It was, Johnny was just, well, I'll tell you what. You don't mind your manners, I'm going to end your life. And then he would just sit back and continue drinking his drink. And everyone at the table was just like, that motherfucker's cold-blooded, dude. But that's the style, and
I love it.
This is the level that I try to when I bring people in to playing role-playing games. Like, dude, I'm getting stopped. Like, if you're at my table, I want you to do an accent.
I want you to be a
Don't
character.
write an accent that you can't pull off, and don't tell me that you can't learn it because YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
It's out there, man. You know.
Yeah.
It is out there.
Unfortunately,
If you have the talent. Some people like it does not like to do accents.
right,
Like,
because
but,
the muscles are not properly
like,
trained,
do
etc.
not ask me to speak in Icelandic accent. That is not going to happen. They
That's the extent of it, dude.
Right. Yeah.
The Swedish chef.
That's the only. Yeah. That's yeah. I was going there as well.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
no,
Yeah, but
it's
that
not even-
that
so
is-
there's a lot of dialects where it's like. ooh,
that's
rough.
cool though. Like you don't run into a lot of people that play like that. That's
Yeah,
it's
there's a lot of, and there's ways to manipulate. Like with my character Talise, I don't have a fully Scottish accent, and I don't have a fully Irish accent. It's like
It's a blend.
right in the middle.
Yeah.
Blend in
Yeah.
the middle.
Yeah.
And I did that on purpose. One, because I didn't want Irish people to be like, "Well, that's a shitty Irish accent," and I want Scottish people to be like, "Well, that's a shitty Scottish accent." They're all like, they all go, "What is that?"
it's an amalgamation.
What
She's
is that?
they probably look at you and go, oh well, she's American. She's doing the best.
Nope.
Really?
No, the majority of, if I get a DM about my accent, it's from somebody who's from Edinburgh. Like, where do you live? Because I know you're from here. I'm like, no, I'm American. And they're like, really? I thought you were just a Scot doing an Irish accent. Like, what are you doing? In my mind, in my head canon, she lives in a totally different realm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so this is the accent of that place in the
Sure.
realm. And so it's familiar enough to be like, oh, this is familiar, but not like, oh, she's not
Yeah, she's
familiar.
definitely yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just enough that it rides that fine line, and it's able to have that Scottish inflection but then that Irish lilt that makes everyone kind of feel like it's different but familiar at the same time.
It's kind of cool because we were talking about having somebody come on and talk more about accents.
Yeah.
In a future episode. Because
Right.
Well,
there's so many.
much more you
Yeah.
can convey, especially
Yeah.
if you think about nuance. Like people think, oh, I'll just do a southern accent.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
okay.
you're a daisy if you do.
Well, you can have a real Georgian southern.
Right? Or
Talk real slow.
there's more of the
and then
gunslinger
talk
and Wild
really-
West.
But
Yep.
if you're talking like you're from Texas, like you're gonna talk like this.
Yep, there you
Like,
go.
You're going real fast. You gotta
Yep.
think about what you're saying.
Yep. Yep.
It's the southern accent,
Yep.
but it's different.
Yeah. The tempo is
conveys
more clippy.
Something else.
Yes.
And so you gotta think about those nuances.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, it's funny because you say Southern accent, and it's like there's so many different accents in the South.
Oh yeah. Like,
It's,
from
you know,
Cajun to an Alabama.
Yeah, I mean,
Florida
you
to-
go,
Tennessee.
you can
Yeah.
go Texas, and you know, which is what you did. One state over, Louisiana, completely different.
Right.
And there's 3 or 4 different accents in Louisiana itself.
Or if you go
know,
the other way, you go west.
Yeah.
The New Mexico and Arizona,
Yeah.
heavy influences with Spanish, so a bit more fast. So
Yeah.
you get to Arizona where it's more slowed down.
But it's
Yep.
what we would icon it as the classic cowboy accent.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's it's kind of
What
funny.
y'all doing down there?
That
Yeah.
golden
Yeah.
West
Right.
accent,
Which-
which is not quite a Georgian accent, but it is similar in how it's drawn.
And they're
You're
saying
right.
that actual Old English would be more close to like that Southern Georgian
Yes.
accent.
Which is because of basically Carolina all the way through Florida and all that. That was known as the Caribbean.
Yep.
That was the Caribbean. So there
Yeah.
was a lot of British influence.
Yep.
And so you can trace those, like with the mid-southern accent,
Mhm.
you can trace that back to its French roots.
Yep.
You really can, and how they speak and what it is. Even if it's not even a Cajun accent, but you can trace that
You can-
back
you
to
can
the
hear-
draw.
You can hear the tempo if you pay attention.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
get there's every single state. So I used to actually one of my jobs that I had while I was in the Army was voice and announcing skills. So we taught a Midwestern accent. So get rid of any sign of your accent, which was really weird because you got to go through a voice audition. At least when I was trying for this job, I went through this voice audition, and I speak the same way now. Just when I'm broadcasting, it's a little bit more pronounced, and I'm articulating certain things when I'm trying to be a little bit more serious. When Keith and I are on, it's just us talking the way that we talk.
It's chaos.
Yeah. So I went through my
Voice
analysis, and they're like, yeah, you drop your R's when you say words like dollar. You have this glottal fry. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I don't. Yeah, glottal fry. It's
Yeah.
like when you're totally like Paris Hilton. Like, oh my god, this is so stupid. Because they're running out of breath.
Right.
That's
right.
what's causing that. So, and even there, when you heard if you actually paid attention, when that's what causes that. Notice I dropped the T. It's the natural way that we all speak because slang and certain areas that we grow up in, it's acceptable and your brain automatically fills in, oh, he said that. Or dollar instead of dollar.
So it's funny you bring up the voice test.
Oh, did you take it?
No. Well, no. So in a way, yes.
Okay.
So there was a broadcasting school that I was looking to go to because I have a face made for radio.
Same.
So it's great.
Yep.
And
That's
so
why
I
we
go
have
in,
this golden
and
voice.
they said, hey, we need you to, first thing we want you to read this,
Did you do the
this-
radio
this-
voice?
The script. They said, just read it, how you would normally,
Yeah.
read it. And I
Yeah.
said, okay. And so I went through the whole thing and got done. And the guy was like, man, that was great, except for the one slip up you had. And I said, I didn't have a slip up. And he goes, well, yeah, you did. I said, well, I'm sorry. Could you tell me where? Because I didn't. If I did, I'm sorry. I didn't catch myself. And he goes, oh yeah, right at this part, you hear when he said that. And I said, oh. I said, well, that's because this is written wrong. And he goes, what? And I said, yeah, this is written incorrectly. The the punctuation is in the wrong spot. So it's forcing me to make a stop right here. And he goes, no, it's not. And I said, have you ever read this?
Did you read it out
And
loud?
he goes, no. He goes, and he's reading it. And I said, no. I said, read it out loud. And he started reading it out loud. And he goes,
Runs out of breath.
and he goes, oh my God, you're right. Because he stopped at the same time. And he goes, I've been here for 5 years and no one has ever said that before. And I was like, huh, yeah, this probably isn't the place for me then. And I got up and I walked out. Yeah.
Know thy boundaries.
Yeah, I was like, dude, don't
reading
tell me I'm
copy
wrong.
is-
You don't even know.
If you're reading copy, you're reading everything that's
Yeah,
there. You're not. There's no. I'm
I
gonna
read it as it's written.
Yeah,
So
I'm not
if
going to
you
add
write it-
my spin onto it.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a full stop there. Okay, I'm going to stop there.
I stopped right there.
Yeah. It sounds weird because you fucking wrote it
You
weird,
wrote
dude.
it wrong. And if in 5 years you didn't realize that, how many people have gone through the door
And
that you went, oh, you slipped up on that one
And
part?
you axed them because of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was
Yeah.
just like, sorry,
Oh,
this probably
no.
isn't my place then.
No. I think with training though, like when we were training people to do voice announcing, the worst one that I had was a guy from Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah.
It was brutal because he's from, was it Brooklyn or the Bronx? He's
Either
from New
way.
York. He
Either
sounded
way.
like Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And it's like, bud, I need you to calm down. We're reading the news. We're not doing a stand-up routine, bro.
We're not ordering a hit, okay?
And
We
he's
don't-
like,
let's-
but I don't get what I'm saying wrong. And I'm like, dude,
Chill.
your inflections are all wrong.
Yeah.
Like, just read this flat.
There is
Like,
no
read it deliberately. And he goes, well, what do you mean? And I'm like, you're talking right now? This is the way that I need you to sound on the radio. And he was like, all right. So we turn the mic on. As soon as the fucking light goes on, hey, I'm like, dude, stop it. I'm like, you know what? You're no longer on radio. You are going to be behind the camera now. All right.
You have a voice
No-
made for newspaper.
Not only do you not only do you have a face
Your
for
voice
radio,
is
you have a
best for
voice for
print.
newspaper.
Yeah.
Here you go. You're gonna just go out there and be a cameraman. Go for it. Have fun. And then he got all butthurt, and I ended up having to put him on a radio show. And I said, it's gonna be great for the first week.
Yeah.
And he goes, what do you mean? I said, whatever voice you use right now on this first show, you have to do every time
Yeah.
you turn that mic on. And that's not how you naturally talk.
Yeah.
And he just kind of looked at me and he goes, what do you mean? I said, unless you're doing a bit, don't use that voice. And he goes, okay.
Because you can't maintain it.
Right. And so we turn on the mics, and what does he do? Well, hey, you're listening to AFN Radio. And I'm like, dude, stop it.
What are you, Casey Kasem? Get out of here.
No. Casey, you ain't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you have to be really careful. Like, especially for me, all my live streams, I'll sit there for 2 or 3 hours, and I do not drink. I don't drink alcohol. I don't.
Well, yeah, because that changes
don't
that.
do anything, because if I am at all not paying attention and my English, my American accent slips, people will pick up on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I have to be hyper conscious.
Oh, yeah.
Which, I mean, part of that is getting into the set, getting into character, and getting, doing that. You're like, okay, and I can be in it, and I can stay in it, but if I don't mess with that at all, because that's what they want. That's what they associate, and so
It's
you cannot change.
cool. It's cool to see that, our last episode we were talking about planning.
Yeah.
And it's good to see that, like, the amount of effort that you put into putting together for socials. That it's not just your standard, oh, we're going to turn on the mic and let's go live, and now we're two idiots with microphone and camera. Yeah. Well, I mean, really, I'm kind of jabbing at, like,
Yeah.
more
Just
the
how
video
some
game,
people
the
just
video
do,
game
and they just ramble,
YouTubers, and
just
yes.
going. Yes. And
the
even
fact
then,
that you have so much in there. There's another dude that's out there, Tank Tolman.
Yeah.
I love that man. You've seen him. I showed him to you. It's the
Yeah.
Viking dude.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff that he does because he does the over the top stuff, and then he also does the self-care stuff. Both of his, I like how he can transition from one to the other.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
There's a lot of content out there that gets made famous
Yep.
You know, and I fail. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I fail to see how it
Yeah.
gets so. It's like,
He's talking about the mushroom people.
no, not even the mushroom people. I love the mushroom people. I don't understand the mushroom people. But no, it's like, so you have, you know,
but
the people.
You're tall, so you don't understand being short and getting yourself a mushroom girly and being able to hide under that cap when it's real hot outside at fair.
Yeah, because I
That's a
would love
game
to.
changer
I would
right
love
there.
to share your
I just
mushroom
wear
shade.
I just wear my big hat.
Yeah,
You are a mushroom girly.
I am not a mushroom.
in disguise.
It's
no,
it's
but-
called shiitake. Thank you very much.
No, but the one I saw, it's like you have the content, and then like the big thing, you know, with the reactors.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
gonna react to this, you know, and
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool, you know, it's whatever it is.
I could
But
understand
then now
certain things.
I've seen videos. They have reactors that are reacting to the reactors reacting to the content, and I'm like, what? Seriously?
What is entertaining?
L-
What is
there-
valuable about
Yeah,
it?
You know what we
you're
should do?
reacting to.
You should react to stuff.
Yeah,
No,
it's
no, no.
like,
We should.
Why don't
We
you
should.
just skip
We
react?
should mystery science through mystery science theater.
Yeah.
The freaking reactors.
Yeah, but I mean, it had like thousands of views and all this stuff, and I'm like, I just don't get, like, what is entertaining about that?
I have no idea.
It's-
I,
like,
don't-
I just-
avoid that altogether.
It's kind of like watching someone play a video game.
Yeah,
Like,
there's,
I don't-
There's a couple reactors I like. I'm not gonna say I don't, because there's a couple I watched because they're funny, you know, and they sometimes they
You're
have
talking
good
about the
takes or-
dude that's
that guy. I
you
think
know,
funny.
that guy's hilarious. You know, like
But you know, there's a couple of them I do watch, but then when it went into the reactor reacting to the reactor, and I'm like, I don't. What?
it's Inception.
Why are you getting? It's don't understand what are you bringing to the table? You know, nothing. They're doing the work for you, and you're just sitting there going, "Oh yeah, I agree with what he said."
yeah.
But you've got 10,000 views. Like,
I could
ow.
understand if there was a counterpoint to, like, an argumentative statement to it.
Right.
I could get that.
Yeah.
But just to be a sheep
Yeah.
agreeing with, oh yeah, you know, Sarah said this is bad. It's bad.
Oh yeah, I
You know?
totally agree.
And
but
then Keith
it's like
turned around
watching a
going,
video
Rob
of
said
you
it.
doing it.
Rob said Sarah said it's bad, so yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, and then I make a video going, "Oh yeah, well, you know, Rob said this was bad, but I disagree. I think it's really good, even though Sarah said it's bad, so I think I'm going to agree with her." It's like what the hell, guys? This is
It's just a whole.
It's cool to me though that you have put so much forethought into
yeah,
like
yeah.
Like, to the point, like, I don't use all the audio is my own audio. I write my own scripts. I don't use like the TikTok little blurps of stuff.
Sure.
Because
you get
then-
lost.
Well, you get lost, and then you're playing this will go viral, this will go viral, this will go viral.
And
what's
that's
the
such
next
a
thing that's
dicey
not gonna go?
game.
And I'm like, half of this doesn't even line up with my content.
Right,
characters.
right.
I'm just going to avoid it altogether.
Yep.
And
That is
if
one thing that I
makes
did notice
me
about your
stay
stuff.
Smaller or grow slower, then let it be what it'll be.
yeah.
That's organic growth is better than false.
Yeah.
Like pretentious stuff.
Yeah.
I don't like Keith and I we're
Unabashed. We don't.
everything that we use is us. You know, occasionally I've got license-free music that's running in the background. Right now, we can't hear it, but I know that it's there.
Yeah.
And it's great because it provides ambience for those guys out there. Because then it gives that tavern core
Well, yeah, and that's
kind of
like
thing.
mine. I have people talking and mumbling. And
Oh yeah,
like-
no, the
like
dude that we
there's
have in
Yeah.
the
bits of
there's a
being-
guy in the background every now and then. He's like, "Get out the way!"
Right.
Look, you did.
But even just if it's barely audible.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
The brain perceives it.
Yep.
When someone watches it.
Yep.
Even if you can barely hear
Oh, yeah,
it,
no,
and
that's-
it puts you in a different mindset.
Yep.
And underneath the table here, you guys can't see it.
I've got my soundboard down here. It's everything's tied into it.
I've got the mics going through that. We've got audio that's coming in from the computer,
and all of that is it's intentional.
Yes.
Like it's
You
it's
have
it's
to be
all very intentional, and it's so.
You don't have to. You choose to be intentional.
If you want to be good, you have to be intentional with every element that you put in there.
to include like
Merch that you have showing or behaviors that you do, and it's very refreshing to me to see somebody else that throws as much thought as we throw into things.
Yeah.
As much as, like,
Most of the time, it's us. We got a topic. We're going to talk about that topic, and we're going to leave it there. You know, every now and then we'll change the screen so that people can see things that's been sitting there for like an hour or whatever. You guys, that's Sarah. That's her right there. Yeah.
but it's always awesome to see people that put things in the perspective of, if you want to be good, you're going to put the work in.
Yeah.
And that's awesome to me
I want
because
to be proud of what people see. I don't want people to be like, oh, she's just another redhead doing a thing, getting viral because she's pretty. Like,
Yeah.
is that part of the algorithm? I'll put a wig on him. I don't care.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm trying to get him into a chainmail mankini right now, and yes,
It's probably not going to happen.
the movement has begun.
Yeah, no.
Let's put it to a vote.
Oh yes.
The thing about movement is
Put it in the
stops.
comments. Put it in the comments. He'll do it if we get enough people. I promise.
I probably would, but it's besides the
Y'all
point.
heard it here, right here.
I said
Yes.
probably.
Out-
I said
out of- out of his
probably,
mouth.
Probably.
And I have a witness.
Probably.
And I have a witness.
Yes. I'm not talking for like a long time. I mean, I couldn't do that to you. I have way too much respect for you to do that to you.
Yeah, no,
That
that's.
was such a sweet way to say, I don't want to see that.
No, actually, I do want to
he
see
really
that.
wants to see
I
me do
do
it.
want to see that because I want to post him next to Asen.
Yeah.
Yeah, or the living statue. Ooh, or we could just take a picture of it and have a life-size cutout, and then we can hide him throughout the festival.
It's like a treasure hunt.
It's like a Where's Keith?
Where's Lord Robert?
Just in the back.
I give it 10 minutes before it gets taken down.
Oh, I wouldn't even give it that much.
Okay. Well, I think we're gonna have to wrap this up because it's been almost 2 hours.
Almost
my
2
gosh.
hours.
Yeah.
You guys are so entertaining.
No, you are.
Oh,
It's all about you.
Yes.
you're right.
I mean, really, it's about us, but, you know,
Yeah.
since she's here,
Yeah.
gotta
Gotta have
make her
something.
feel good, you know.
Gotta have something better to look at
Right,
than
yeah.
you.
I mean, don't tell her I said that.
She's right there.
Damn it.
Well, this has been
I meant every word
a
of that.
wonderful adventure. We've learned about performing with the not so talented. Is that your real hair?
Oh, yeah,
Sigh.
he's getting it this year.
Oh.
Nice, you guys.
Oh no, that was us being nice.
Oh, no, we'll be nice.
We absolutely love the man,
Oh, yeah, he's great. He's a
but
great dude.
Yeah.
we show our affection really oddly.
Yes, we do.
He'll appreciate it.
If we don't
yeah.
tease you, we don't like
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
So,
So we talked about performing with a Guinness World Record holder.
Yes.
and then,
we-
so is Colorado and Pittsburgh the only two that you do? Or
So
are you going...
We have Colorado, and then Pittsburgh. We're in talks with Pennsylvania right now.
Okay.
There has been talks about not next year, but 2026. There being possibly Scarborough.
Okay.
And we did get offers from Dickens Fair in California. So it's all kind of, it's difficult.
Timing.
It's timing, and
Yeah.
it's, a lot of these places don't see me as a duo show.
Right.
They're like, it's him and the assistant.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they'll pay him X amount of money and then me $100 a day.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
So
It's a package deal, guys.
It
it's
is...
a negotiation process.
Speaking
Yes.
of package deals, we got to wrap this up because
We gotta put a bow on this Christmas present.
there
Right.
is corned beef and cabbage to be had,
Oh, I'm so hungry.
and taters. There's taters
I
in
do
there
love
too.
me some taters.
Right. Like, who doesn't?
See, this is the problem with hanging out with him. He can't stick with one accent.
No.
He's a
However you start
chameleon.
talking, I'm going to start.
He's a
I'm going with
chameleon.
you.
He's like a parrot.
So,
He just
I-
it is
oh,
so funny because he will go into his little thing, and then he'll introduce me, and then I come in with me little Cockney, and next thing you know, I've got a right proper lord speaking Cockney with me.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I never
See,
have.
there it-
Exactly.
Right.
and right there it is.
Right. Now, what are you talking about?
I'm glad I'm not the only one that finds this funny.
It's hilarious.
It's great
He
because
thinks it's hilarious.
9 times out of 10, I don't even know I'm doing it. It's
Right.
just, it's so natural.
mimicry.
Until
yeah.
I point it out.
And then he's
And
like,
right up until
he's
you
like,
go
wow,
visit
all of a sudden
somewhere.
you're Scottish now. And I'm like, what? Oh, seriously, was I? Oh, shit, I didn't even realize. Like,
Wow.
because I get to talk. So it's easy when I talk to you. And then my brain goes, you should talk like them. And my mouth goes, sure, why not?
It's the want to be accepted. And,
I think
and
so.
belong.
Yeah.
That's definitely.
that's
it's
literally
probably
what
some
that is.
Childhood insecurities, some trauma.
We'll unpack that later.
I'm gonna have to call into her show now and get some help.
Oh God, that's not what you want. I'll try to keep him away. Well, you know, the good news is that.
I'm really good at just giving really good encouraging words.
Well, the good thing is that he's not very tech savvy, so you should be safe.
It's gonna
He's
take
not
me
even
a
gonna
while
make
to
that
find
call.
it.
No.
I'm like, Sarah.
Well, it's been a wonderful journey with you, Sarah.
Absolutely.
The
no.
Farvelous.
The Farvelous.
The
Farvelous.
Farvelous.
Sarah Bonnie.
Sarah Bonnie. We appreciate you. Don't forget, check her out, guys. We got her links down below. You can check her out on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Patreon, soon to be Twitch,
Facebook.
Facebook. You guys check her out. She's an amazing human being. One of my favorite people to actually see in the morning because she's always got that
Yes.
smile. And she's always like, hi, guys.
Stop it. You're trying to be the same color as my hair.
Well, it's always good because we're generally standing at the picnic tables, and then she comes walking in the gate, and it's always funny to go, "Hey, girl!"
Hey.
Well, it has been wonderful.
We do appreciate you guys. Once again, I'm Rob.
I'm Keith.
And that's Sarah. We are the Renaissance Rascals. That's just,
We are.
That's just
I'm
Sarah.
just here.
That's just Sarah.
Yeah.
I'm a wannabe.
The Farvelous Sarah.
The Farvelous
The
Sarah
Farvelous
Bonnie.
Sarah. And that is her real hair. Sigh.
It
It
is.
is.
Sigh.
Sigh.
Yeah.
That's her real hair.
Yeah, we can attest.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye, friends.
Podcast. How'd I do for my first podcast?
Awesome.
guys?
I absolutely love this thing.
Yeah, I wish.
The stream decks are amazing
Stream decks
for
are awesome.
switching when you need to.